I would love to know more
Wow.
about water fasting. What are your recommendations when it comes to
Mm.
when water fasting is appropriate, how long, medical supervision or not, or what is your experience with
Mm.
water fasting?
Yeah, personally, I like to water fast. The longest I've done is 36 hours. And water fasting is not approved for everyone. So if you have type 1 diabetes, you might not want to water fast because you don't want to go in ketosis. If you have type 1 diabetes, you can go into the ICU if that's the case.
Yeah.
So it's not everyone. You definitely need to ask your doctor if it's appropriate to fast, first of all. But water fasting can be very useful, and there's so many ways to do it. You can do 12 hours on, 12 hours off, where you eat for 12 hours and then you just drink water for 12 hours. Or you can do 16-8, where you will eat for 8 hours and then fast for 16 hours. Or you can do multiple days. And there's fasting centers in the US where you are supervised and you can fast 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks if you want. But you need to do that under supervision because you can pass out from having a really low blood sugar. So the benefit of water fasting is that you're not eating. So when you're not eating, you go into ketosis, which can be anti-inflammatory, and it can really bring down some of these symptoms that patients are experiencing, like joint pain, fatigue, rashes, all these inflammatory symptoms that come out. Even some patients with cancer will water fast because you're sort of not feeding those cancer cells. So some people with cancers will go to fasting centers to fast for multiple weeks at a time. So there's multiple ways of fasting. That's why you can do intermittent fasting. If you don't want to do 24 hours, you can do intermittent fasting, which is relatively safe, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So there's no one rule to it.
And from a dietitian lens, yeah, this idea of like fasting, there are all the like it's this big umbrella term, right? Like fasting, and there's kind of like these little subcategories. And one, I think that is low hanging fruit for so many out there is time restricted feeding, which we call sleep, right? And I think there's unfortunately in the American population, the last 50 to 60 years, it's like, oh, we don't really sleep as much as we used to, or it's like I remember even Taco Bell had a commercial called Fourth Meal. It's like you eat at midnight and you get your fourth meal at midnight, and this kind of like, I don't know what you want to call it, societal, I don't know, acceptance or just kind of addiction to food, even just kind of this
Binge
processed
eating.
food that you're binge eating or stressed about as you're staying up late on your screen eating food, you don't realize, oh, I'm missing out on my fast. And that is huge, that is massive. So how many people are kind of literally doing the opposite of what you're saying? They're eating for 16 hours or 20 hours and like fasting for 4 hours when it comes to a 24-hour period. And then you're missing out on all the benefits you just said from ketosis. I know Dahlia always speaks on the migrating motor complex and all
Supporting
the
motility and
benefits,
cleanup of
right?
the gut. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like your body needs a rest. It's like as if you were working for 16 or 20 hours a day and only got to rest and sleep for 4, you would get burnout, right? And so kind of the same is true for your microbiome, your gut, your nervous system,
Your organs.
and
Yeah.
so it's that low hanging fruit. And then definitely like water fast is kind of the next level. And typically, I mean, I know we hear about water fasting from people, yeah, with other comorbidities, or like, yeah, I have RA and I have these other issues, let me try kind of this next step and experiment. And then yeah, that medical supervision and consulting, and this is definitely not medical advice to water fast, consult with your care team and definitely look into it, do your due diligence, and it can be very powerful and beneficial. But I always, yeah, I want to bring it back to that low hanging fruit of like, make sure you're sleeping enough and therefore you're fasting enough. And that's so powerful and important. For those of you that don't know, Dahlia was our first patient. She struggled with SIBO and IBS and so many GI problems on a day-to-day basis, hunched over, causing so many other issues. We wish we had a protocol in place, a program in place that led her through step by step, inch by inch, and really guide by guide, so she had everything at her fingertips. Now we have that. That is our Good Gut SIBO IBS program. You can do it 100% plant-based. You can customize it, but it is one of the only programs that is geared towards plants, that can help you customize plants, that can help you tolerate more plants, and really gets to the root of your SIBO, of your IBS, of your ISO, SIFO, IMO, and any other type of overgrowth.